Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you for being here
Sure.
on a Friday, no, Saturday morning. I've lost where I am in the days of the week.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's easy to do sometimes, isn't it? So nice to meet you. How do I say your name? Naraman. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
it's done. Yeah.
Lovely. Welcome, Naraman. Welcome, Bino. Is that
Yes, Binu Prasad. Yeah.
nice to meet you?
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Jenny.
Thank you for being here. And
Most welcome. Pleasure.
And welcome, Renee. I'm not sure if I've said that correctly either.
No, my name is Ren. It's a French name. Ren.
Oh, Ren.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. And I'll just give it a few minutes more to see if anyone else joins us. But in the meantime, it would be wonderful to hear. I'm guessing you're all from Qatar. You're based in Qatar?
No, I'm based in UAE.
UAE, fantastic.
And I am based in Qatar.
Great. And Nariman, where are you based? Whereabouts are you based? Nariman? No?
So I'm based in Qatar.
In Qatar as well. Fantastic. And I was based in Qatar for a long time. And then with COVID, I am currently in Australia at the moment. So,
That's good.
but hope to be back when it all settles one day. We trust. And I'm curious, what brings you to the webinar today? Very briefly. And you can type in the chat box if that helps. Welcome, Fatima. We're just checking in, just giving a few minutes before we start the webinar. And just also wanting to check in as to what has perhaps brought you here today. Pop into the chat box. Thank you, Binu.
Thank you.
So is it okay to share what you've typed?
Oh, sure.
So Bino has shared, I am figuring out all possible learning options to become a life coach. Fantastic. And I'll just give one more minute before we start. Just share my screen. Just go to the beginning. Oops, won't be a moment. I'm just looking at my my shared screen and I'm not sure if I can get to the start of the slides. There we go.
Yes.
So again, welcome everybody and thank you for being here. And today we're going to be looking at what is coaching and 5 ways coaching can change your life. So I just want to, let me see if I can expand that for you. I'm on my, I'm on a different laptop today, so I'm not so familiar with it. Does that show the full slide or?
No.
No? Okay. Let me see. How about now?
Yeah, it's
Right.
better.
It's better.
Fantastic. Now let me see if I can work this. No, I can't work this. Will this be okay for now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Can you see okay? That would be much appreciated. So today what we want to do is to support you to understand more about coaching and how it can change your life. And certainly we want to give you an experience of coaching for yourself. So let me just move my slides along. So you are in the right place on this webinar. If you have found yourself that you've tried different roles, different industries, professions, and they haven't worked out, and perhaps you don't know what you're meant to do, or perhaps you've worked out that you do want to become a professional coach. You are in the right place if you are looking to learn how to be a better version of yourself, if you want to look at how you can improve what you do, how you do it, how you can communicate in a much more effective, powerful way, and make your dreams a reality, as well as deepen your relationships with the people that are important to you. And you'll know you're in the right place if you recognize there's something more meaningful and purposeful for you. And certainly that was my experience from a very early age. I recognized that I was meant to be doing something meaningful and purposeful, but I didn't know what that was. I didn't know exactly what that was until I went on this journey to become a coach. And if you're wanting to become a greater leader, both personally in your personal life and your professional life, but not sure how to do that, again, you're in the right place. And if you find yourself getting stuck, not knowing how to make decisions easily, effortlessly, again, you're in the right place. So thank you for joining us. So before we begin, it's always great to make sure you've got a quality connection, to turn perhaps things off that are going off in the background, to mute yourself to prevent background noise. We've got here turn off your camera, but please feel free to keep your camera on because we actually really like to see the people that we're connecting with. So if you're able to keep your camera on, that's great. As I said, close any open things like web browsers, pause or close any downloads. And of course, we'd love you to engage in this webinar as much as possible. So please feel free to make comments in the chat box as we go along. And also, as we do go along, I will be opening up the opportunity to share feedback, ask questions, and so much more. So a little bit about Empower World. So Empower World is made up of myself, Jeanine Bailey, and Marie Quigley. We are the co-founders and co-directors of Empower World. And we've been operating in Qatar since 2012, which was where we both met on our journeys of being coaches, professional coaches. And what we found was that we both shared very similar values and similar dreams. And so we came together to create Empower World with the purpose of training people to become professional coaches. And as a consequence of that, as a consequence of people going on the journey with us in the coach training, we just naturally created people coming to us for services in organizations. So we've been offering leadership and coaching training programs in organizations. So organizations such as Qatar Gas, Vodafone, Qatar Museums, Aramax. We've also provided coaching programs, so executive and leadership programs. So actually coaching people one-to-one in organizations like HEC Paris, Siemens, many of the universities based in the Qatar, I've forgotten the name, that beautiful organization within Qatar that offers these wonderful universities. So universities such as Georgetown, Texas A&M, and VCU, and so much more, Georgetown. And we also provide bespoke workshops, again, really being able to accommodate what organizations need in terms of people development. We're also extended DISC providers, so we provide psychometric reports and facilitation. We're also both Brené Brown, we're certified by Brené Brown and the Daring Way certification, so in terms of providing leadership programs, supporting our resilience, etc., and so much more. So we've had a lot of wonderful work in Qatar, working with some of the most prestigious and well-known organizations as a consequence of the journey that both Marie and I went on to become professional coaches, and how we came together through our work at Urdu. So we started off, our first big program was supporting executives in Urdu. So we've had a lot of experience in that field, but we also love doing this work, which is training people to become professional coaches, and whether that means becoming credentialed through the ICF or just learning the skills, these powerful skills that incorporate leadership, learning how to communicate effectively, supporting and empowering others. So we know that we've been able to support people to become credentialed coaches, and also leaders who want to be able to coach in their profession. So, any questions that are coming up so far? Great. I know I've shared quite a bit so far. And maybe I can share a little bit about my own personal journey, if that's okay, and how I came to this place. So if you had have been with me when I first started my professional career, you would have found me, you would have been with me in the finance industry in Australia. So I started off my career in the finance industry because my parents said that was a good thing to do, that it would be a safe place, and that I would earn good money, and that it would be a place that would set me up. And in some ways, perhaps they were right. And I also found myself going around in circles because for some reason, I felt something was missing. I felt that I was meant to be doing something more, and I was meant to be somehow supporting people. And what I found was that in this profession of the finance industry was I felt that all I was doing was helping money being moved from one organization to another organization, from whichever organization that I wasn't working in into the organization that I was working in. And that was actually not creating any sense of real meaning or purpose or satisfaction or inspiration, even though I really enjoyed meeting the people that I did and making the connections and relationships that I did in the industry. There was a big hole. There was something missing. And it tended to be a very ego-driven industry as well. So I really felt quite lost. I really felt like I was on a path to nowhere. And so I realized that I actually had to change this. I had to make a new decision. I had to take a leap of faith. I had to go outside of the comfort zone and go on an adventure and do something completely different, which went against what my parents had advised me to do. So I did that. I took a big leap of faith, and I decided to move out of Australia, move to the UK, and do something completely different that was outside of my comfort zone. And it meant leaving behind everything I knew, leaving behind the security of the finance industry and the good payments that I was receiving to be there, and to start something new. So I went to the UK and I decided to do recruitment because I felt that's going to support people. If I support people if I recruit people to find their dream job, that's going to give me heart and meaning. But again, at the end of this, I found I was on a roller coaster and not really making the difference that I thought I was meant to be. So if you were with me back in 2006, which was when I moved to Qatar, I had taken, I'd made a decision to move outside of the comfort zone because I was on this roller coaster again, or this merry-go-round perhaps, that was just going round and round in circles. And I'd met my new husband and I wanted to take again that new leap of faith and go outside of the comfort zone. So I moved to Qatar, which I knew nothing about, but I just felt that it was going to give me a new lease of life. I'd made a decision and I took action, but I found myself again working in an industry, working in a communications industry, not knowing what I wanted to do, not knowing where I wanted to go, and not filling my heart with purpose and meaning. And it was at that point that my very good friend, who was a mentor of mine, came to me and she said, Jeanine, I'm doing this coach training and I need to coach somebody as part of my certification, and can I coach you? And I said to her, yes. I said, look, you know, I'm newly married, I'm very happy, I feel like I've got my life sorted, but I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. And so she took me on a journey of coaching. She started to coach me. I trusted her. She'd created a very safe place to work within. And all of a sudden I realized, yeah, I'm still in this merry-go-round and I need to get off and I need to find something that really gives me heart and meaning. And so it was through that coaching program that I discovered my values, I discovered my purpose, I discovered what I was truly meant to do, and that was coach training, or become a coach, become a professional coach. And what that meant was I would have to leave my job again. I'd also have to go back to Australia to do my training. And so it really threw up, oh, is this the right thing? Am I meant to do this? It's going to cost a lot of money. But I've got to follow my heart, and I've got to follow what I really believe is going to, if I follow my heart, I know it's going to create the success and the abundance that I truly wish for. So again, I took decision, I took action, and I went on this journey of becoming a professional coach. So, and that is the journey I went on, which led me to meeting Marie and creating Empower World. So that's a little bit of a journey about myself and Empower World. So if you stick with us today, this is what you'll take away at the end of this webinar. An understanding of what coaching is and what it isn't, and an experience of a powerful coaching model. So you'll experience 5 steps to creating new opportunities, to actually navigate new opportunities or challenges that are coming up in your life. 5 ways that coaching can change your life powerfully. So we'll go through that. And one of the most successful ways to build up personal resilience and open up new doorways, as well as how to overcome being stuck, lost, frustrated, angry, sad, so that you can live your life purposefully with energy, inspiration, and fulfillment. So those feelings that I've just mentioned here, those feelings of being stuck, lost, unhappy, frustrated, angry, or sad, you know, we're never going to be able to get rid of them. That's all part of our experience as a human being. And all of those emotions have meaning, they have purpose. They all come to us because they're trying to tell us something. And what coaching does is enable us to identify what's behind the emotion. What is it really trying to tell us? And what does it want us to do? So even today, you might be able to hear I'm really passionate about what I do, and I really am. And even today, I read an email from from another coach, which kind of, it triggered some old fears within me, and some emotions came up with that. And so with the coaching knowledge and the ability to coach myself, I was able to really get curious about those emotions and what came up for me. And I was able to look underneath that. And as a consequence of looking underneath those emotions, I was really able to support myself to identify, okay, what do I need to do going forward to support this system that myself and one of my coaching colleagues, not from Empower World, but from a volunteer organization, how can we move forward in a powerful, positive way? So again, we don't get rid of these emotions. What we do is we turn them around. We experience them and we get curious about them and we turn them around to make them work for us. That's what mastery is. That is what leadership is about. It's about not quashing, but actually embracing and looking at what's the positive purpose of these things for us and how can we take positive, powerful action moving forward. So I hope that makes sense so far. Yeah, thank you, Binu. So please make sure you're here to the end. What we're going to do is give away some really valuable things. We'll provide you with the PDF of the coaching process that you'll experience today. You'll get these slides, and I'll also be providing you with a questionnaire to support you to identify what is really important to you. So what are your values? So a process to start to uncover what are your values, and perhaps maybe even start to give you clues about your purpose if you're not aware of what your values and purpose are as yet. Purpose and values work is so deep and so meaningful. It really goes, so working with someone to understand what your true values and purpose is, it really can take many hours of coaching. And this questionnaire is the start of that process. It will start to support you to realize and recognize, these things are important to me, and what can I start to do to really step into those ways of being and doing. So coaching, what is it? What is coaching? And I'm just curious, has anyone experienced coaching before? No. Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Ren?
Never.
Ren?
No, but I've been always I've been hearing about this coaching thing. The first time I heard about it, it was with Anthony Robbins. Of course, you all know him, and I was amazed by his work, and yeah, this is it.
Fantastic. And yes, Tony Robbins is amazing, and you'll potentially experience some of his ways of being and doing in the work that we do as well.
Yes.
So yeah, fantastic. So what is coaching? And coaching is often misunderstood. And it is really the power and beauty behind coaching. So actually, perhaps one of the things you might notice with Tony Robbins is, and again, he is incredible and amazing, and his work is often based on neuro-linguistic programming, which tends to be more commanding, and this is a generalization, so it's potentially a lie, but it tends to be more commanding people what to do, because he really believes in the people that he's working with, and he's got such presence that people tend to really respond to that in a powerful, positive way. And so both Marie and I are NLP practitioners as well, and we've also done master NLP training. So And we really do believe in the power of NLP. And we believe that coaching combined with NLP is very powerful, because coaching, what coaching does and what is different from NLP, and again, it's a generalization, is that it asks the questions of the people that we're working with to find the answers inside. It really is based on the premise that the people that we work with are naturally creative, resourceful, and whole, that they have the answers inside themselves. And when we ask really powerful, thought-provoking, skillful questions, we support the people that we're working with to find their own answers, to find their own truth. And so when it comes from within, the answers come from within for the way forward, it makes it so much more powerful, because the person, it comes from within, it comes from their own truth, their own wisdom, because we have this belief that the clients hold the answers inside. And that is really powerful. So I don't know if you can recall a time when someone has told you what to do, and perhaps the advice sounds really good, but perhaps it falls a bit flat, or you actually don't do it. You don't actually take on the good advice of someone else because it doesn't come from within. So nice to see you, Jeanine. And so that can really push people away when you tell them what to do. I know for me it can, unless it's someone that I really respect and admire. But often when I'm told what to do, it's sort of like, oh, I think I want to make the decision for myself. But again, the real beauty and power behind coaching is that we trust that the person inside, that the person has the answers inside. So coaching is not like mentoring or guiding, where mentoring and guiding is giving advice. So it comes from what might seem an expert telling the person they're working with their advice, this is what to do, whereas coaching is a partnership. The coach really believes in the client and they work together. And that's what makes it very, very powerful. It's not like counseling. So counseling can, again, and this is a generalization, so it's potentially not true, but counseling again can be very much advising, or it can be very much about going into the past. So exploring the past, what happened in the past, and really getting very curious about the past. Whereas coaching, the difference here is that coaching is about the future. It's focused on the future, and the questions are focused on the client's future. So, and they can sound similar, but they are different. So again, coaching is it's not guiding, it's not telling, it's not advising, it's not mentoring. It really is about asking those beautiful, powerful questions to support the people to understand their truth. And we'll have an experience of that today. The other thing about coaching is that it really supports people to become aware of their values, their purpose. And when you work with someone to discover those things, they can make decisions really easily and effortlessly because they know who they are. They know what's important to them, and they'll make decisions based on what's important to them and what gives them energy.
Jeanine, I have a question. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just regarding the, coaching, the history of coaching, I believe, this is my personal opinion, I'm not saying a trend, but this is new, right, to the market, like coaching. Is this new? What is the history of coaching? I mean, is this like a kind of a job it was before or not? This is my question.
Yeah, thank you for your question, Vane. It is a new industry, and it probably really started back around 20 to 30 years ago. And it was born out of sports coaching, but it's not sports coaching. Because again, sports coaching often is about telling people what to do, but it's around the mindset. It's around working with the mindset. It's around working with beliefs around self, who we are, what we want to be, who we are being, what it is that we want. It's working with limiting beliefs, creating empowering beliefs, and so much more. So the industry became much more professional, as I say, about 20 to 30 years ago, with the godfather, what's known as the godfather of coaching, Sir John Whitmore. And I would say that potentially even in the last 10 years, it's become even, so actually when I was in Qatar, when I first started training, I only knew of 3 other professional coaches in Qatar. So there were only 3 other certified coaches, we believe, in Qatar, because professional coaches are registered so International Coach Federation, who Maria and I are with, is a body that registers coaches. So all the other bodies that credential coaches have got to register. So at that point, there were only 3 of us that were registered as coaches.
Yeah.
So, and of course, with Empower World coming on board, we've got a whole lot of coaches that have come that have trained and are in Qatar. But of course, we've got an expat community, and there's lots of expats going in and out. That are also, there's many more professional coaches in Qatar, but still, it's still very small. It's still in its infancy. Binu is in the UAE, where potentially there is a lot more coaches based there compared to Qatar, and still it's in its infancy. It's still evolving. And but it's a great time to join while it's still in its infancy. So if you become a coach, you're still going to be an early adopter, because there, in the context of the world, there is still a small percentage of coaches compared to the rest of the world. And I truly believe it's going to continue to keep growing and growing and growing, because people will start to realize, actually, these are the skills that are going to support us to have our best life, create our best life. So, I believe that these skills will be learnt at school. They'll be learnt by parents who will teach their children when they're growing up. So, I believe that it will get so much bigger. Does that help with your question?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for asking. So are we ready to have an experience of coaching?
Sorry, say again, Jeanine.
Yes, are you ready to have an experience of coaching?
Now, right now? Okay, why not? Yes.
So it'll be a process. So I'll take you all on a process of that. Yeah. So you'll all be together.
Am I the only one here, or what about the others?
Yes, everyone will be.
Okay, let's do it.
Fantastic. Thank you for being brave. So has anyone seen the Wheel of Life at all before?
No.
No. Okay, fantastic. So this is a simple thing that we can do. So I hope you've got a pen and paper.
No, I don't.
Great. So on your paper, what I'd love you to do is to draw a wheel of life. So draw a circle and then just create some pieces of pie like this. Now, on this slide, you'll see an example, and you'll see that each pieces of pie has got a name. So rest and relaxation, career, family, love and romance, etc. So you don't have to use these exact same labels. You can use labels that are important in your life. So there might be something else. So the wheel of life is looking at your whole life. And so it's looking at what's important in your life. So for example, all of those look pretty good actually, but you might realize that there is something else that looks that's more important to you. It might be spirituality, or culture, or your religious practice. So that might be something that you might want to add to your wheel of life or replace. So I'll just give you a moment to do that. Just hopefully changing my slides for you. There we go. And just let me know when you're finished with a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Fatima. And Binu, hopefully you're there or pretty close. Great. So, and hopefully you've also marked where you are out of 10. So in your pieces of pie, the more you, so on the outside of the circle, that represents 10. So 10 out of 10, that's where you are right now and what you're experiencing. That's amazing. And if you've got a score, if you score close to the center of the wheel of life, if it's a 0, then it's not amazing. It's the absolute opposite. So for each piece of pie that you've named, just mark where you think you are right now. What score would you give yourself in terms of how satisfied you are in each of those pieces of pie? And just with thumbs up when you've completed. Thank you. Thank you, Rain. Thank you. Well done. Wonderful. And hopefully, Fatima, you're close behind. So great, thank you, Fatima. And as you look at those pieces of pie, those different parts of your life, and you may notice the different scores. And, you know, there may be a low score in one of those pieces of pies or pieces of your life. And that might not mean that you want to necessarily focus on that, but there may be something on that wheel of life that indicates to you that you'd like to work on it. So just have a look and see which part of your life that you'd like to work on resonates with you, that you'd like to work on, that you'd like to potentially improve even more. What speaks to you most loudly? And so once you make that choice, let me know which part of your life you'd like to work with. You don't have to let me know the name, but you've got it. Ah, I've got a guest. Gorgeous. So just let me know when you found that piece or that part of your life you want to work with today, with a thumbs up. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, Binu. And ladies, I'm going to trust that you've discovered what it is and decided what it is that you want to work on this morning. Yeah. Fantastic. So what I'd love you to do now is to just pop down your pens and paper and just now focus on the area of your life that you'd like to work with. And as you do that, we'll just go through an exercise, a process to support you to understand what it is that you'd really like to experience. So give yourself this time to just take some nice big deep breaths. Just allow yourself to get focused on this piece of your life that you'd like to improve even more. So just taking a moment, taking some time out and just taking some nice big deep breaths in. And with every breath that you take in, just letting go of wherever you are right now. And again, this is a process that I will pass to you. So some nice big deep breaths. And with every breath that you take in, just allow yourself to relax. And focusing your breaths now into your heart space, this beautiful, wise heart of yours, which is where the experts say is where your inner wisdom lies. Your heart has knowledge, it has memory, it has wisdom. And just focusing your breath into this place. And as you do that, as you focus here, just imagine now going out into the future when it is as you want this part of your life to be. So imagine going out into the future when it is as you want it to be in this part of your life. And as you allow yourself to go on a journey out into the future, when you imagine it to be exactly as you want it, just notice what it is that you'll be experiencing when it is as you want this to be, whenever it is. And as you imagine what you will experience in this part of your life, what you want to, what you truly want to experience, just imagine what it is that you'll see. How will you see yourself in this part of your life? Shoot. How do you see your physiology? How do you see yourself with others? How do you see yourself out in maybe nature, maybe at work? Maybe if I could ask you to mute yourself. Thank you. And as you see all it is that you want to see in this part of your life, personally or professionally, the results that you're experiencing, the outcomes that you're creating, imagine what it is that you'll be hearing. What will you be hearing? What will you say to yourself when it is as you want it to be? What will others say to you? How will they acknowledge you in this part of your life? And maybe notice what else it is that you're hearing. Maybe your intuition, maybe your heart, maybe nature, whatever it is for you. And as you're seeing and hearing all of this, when it is as you want it to be, now just go ahead and name the emotions that you want to experience in this part of your life. What is it that you want to experience on a consistent basis? What do you want to feel often? That will let you know that you're experiencing your best life in this part of your life. And as you see and hear and feel those emotions, just ask yourself, what does this give me to experience this when it is as I want it to be in this part of my life? And when I'm experiencing this for myself and receiving what it is that I want to experience, what does that give others? Those who are important to me in this part of my life. And when you notice what that gives others, what does that then give my community? Maybe my team, maybe my organization, maybe my country. Maybe the world. Maybe future generations. What does this give me, others, and the greater good when I experience this in this part of my life? And again, just notice the gift in that for you when you recognize and realize all of this for yourself and for others. And maybe just notice what's going on inside your body right now. Maybe notice the sensations. Maybe notice the emotions. And take a breath. Just locking in all of that into your heart, locking that into your wisdom, knowing that this is available to you and that you are starting to program your future because you are being mindful of what it is that you want to create. And with the next breath in, just wriggling your toes, wriggling your fingers. And the next breath in, coming back. And just asking yourself, how much do you want this for yourself? How much do you want this future for yourself in this part of your life? So I'm curious what's coming up, and maybe you'd like to put in the chat box perhaps what's coming up for you now as you went on that journey of future success. What are you starting to realize? Maybe what's the emotion that's coming up? Or maybe how much you want this out of 10. So it'd be great to get some feedback just to see where you're at. Or even come off mute. I'm not sure if anything's in the chat box. I just, at the moment, it's not coming up. For me on the screen, I can't see the chat box. So I'm going to trust you're exactly where you need to be right now. Are we good to move forward? I think, Binu, you might be typing something.
I'm good to move forward.
Good to move forward, thank you. Great. So I'm trusting that you did go on a journey in terms of what it is that you wanted in this part of your life. And perhaps recognizing where you are or what it is that you want. And now perhaps just recognizing where you are right now. So in the chat box, it would be great to appreciate perhaps where you feel you are right now in the reality of where you are right now, maybe out of 10. So where do you feel you are right now? In relation to where you want to be. And I'm just going to check the chat box, and for some reason I seem to have lost it. That'll teach me for going on a computer that I'm not used to. Where is it? Nope. So maybe if perhaps one of you could share where you are right now, just a number. You could put your hand up.
Yeah. Maybe 7 for me. 7.
7.
7.5.
Maybe 5 or 4 for me.
5 or 4.
Yeah,
Same for you, Bino?
yeah, 5 for me.
5 for you, yeah. And Fatima, where are you right now?
Fatima should remove the mute, maybe.
Yeah. I'll trust Fatima is aware of where she is right now. So just notice as you recognize
It's
the
a
gap.
4 on the chat box.
Oh, has she? Thank you, Fatima. And thank you, Binu. I am not sure why my chat box is not showing up and I cannot find on the screen where to pick it up. It's really odd. I use Zoom all the time, but using this computer is throwing some challenges for me. So bear with me. So just notice what that difference is. What's the reaction inside as you become aware of perhaps there's a gap between where you want to go and where you are right now. So actually what I'll do is I'll put this, since I can't see the chat box, I will put this up on large. So what's holding you back right now? And so I'd like to give you a moment just to review these questions for yourself. So what are the things that you are telling yourself right now that stops you from being where you want to be? And then what are those reasons or excuses costing you? To listen to those reasons or excuses, what is it costing you in this part of your life? And maybe just notice the ripple effect in other areas of your life by holding yourself back. So the excuses could be costing you your health. They could be costing you your relationships, your energy, your voice. And really listening to that inner wise voice that you know is there, but often it's just deeply tucked away. What are the costs to others by you not stepping fully into this part of your life that is important to you? What does it perhaps cost others when you're not being your truly magnificent self? Perhaps being the role model that you wish to be for others, the leader in your life. And maybe just ask yourself, what will this cost me if I don't do anything about this now in 1 year's time? And what will this cost me and others in 5 years' time? How will it impact my legacy? My reason for being here on this earth right now? And as you write this, just notice what this feels like for you. What are you telling yourself? What are the emotions that come up for you? Maybe the sensations in your body. Perhaps what your body is saying to you right now. Some of you may be very connected to your body and the sensations within, and some of you may not be so connected. There's no wrong or right. It's just listening to more than the words. It's listening to your body, it's listening to your heart, and listening to your intuition. And so, thank you for taking the time out to look at what this is costing you. What this is costing you. So I'm curious, does anyone want to change this? Does anyone want to eliminate these costs? So maybe a thumbs up as to whether this is something that you would like to change. Thank you, Binu. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Fantastic. So I can see there's a desire for change. So what I'd love you to do, each and every one of you to do, is just as a consequence of writing down what it is that you've recognized and experienced, what is it that you know deep down in your heart that you want to do differently to change this? So listening in again to your heart, listening to your wiser self, and maybe even noticing the emotions that you're experiencing right now. What are they here to teach you? What do those emotions, what do they want you to do differently right now in this part of your life? What action, what different action would you like to take? So tapping into your wise heart and intuition. What is one commitment that you'd like to take right now? And how will that change this part of your life? What will it give you? Mm. So well done for doing this quick self-reflection. This very quick self-reflection. I think we took about 10 minutes or so. So it would be great to hear what came up for you. And again, because I haven't got the chat, maybe one or two of you perhaps would like to share just very briefly, perhaps maybe a commitment, maybe what came up, what was the aha, what was the learning.
Sorry, Jeanine, I didn't understand your question.
Yes, thank you for checking in. So it would be great to hear from one or two of you, perhaps just one key learning or something that you take away from that quick exercise.
Oh, okay. Well, I believe your questions, like throughout those 10 minutes, it was a kind of, it's like a path, you know, it was a kind of question after question. It was to lead to one answer at the end. For me, it was like, what are your current actions for your next goal or for your, you know, future goal?
Fantastic. So it sounds like you found something, an action that you'd like to commit to.
Yeah, it was always there, but with your questions, you led me. Okay, you took me through certain, how can I say it, answers, like, you know.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, because yes, that's what coaching does, because it as you said, the answer was there. And so this is what happens with the people that we coach. We recognize the answers are there, but they've just forgotten about it, or there are some blind spots that just prevent them from actually consciously, that's exactly what I must do.
True.
And that's exactly what I'm going to commit to create what it is that I want to create. So yeah, that really supports showing the power of coaching, and that it just really helps us to identify those things that are outside of our consciousness and bring them into our consciousness so that we take action.
True.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. And if one more person could share, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, Ginny, I'll share. I mean, you know, it's kind of for the questions, as Renee said, it took me to the answers which apparently I already knew. It just that it didn't have more clarity in terms of the answers. So it kind of gave me, while I was actually writing down when you were asking me questions, it came to a point where what I must do rather than what I should do. So a lot of my shoulds have become must now.
Yeah.
So which is more of a, which creates a momentum and an action. So it came to a point that I must do XYZ. There are about 4 or 5 things that I came out with, which I must do. And I shouldn't be actually keeping that as a I should do. You know, it's never an I should do, but it should be a I must do. So it came to those kind of points for me.
Yeah, fantastic, I really appreciate you sharing that. And yes, that many of us have shoulds, don't we? And those shouldas don't actually often turn into something. And what I'm hearing, Binu, is that you recognize I must do this. There's compelling reasons why I must do this. So Binu, as you imagine that you take those actions that you've identified for yourself that you must do, so if you imagine doing those and going out into the future, taking those actions, just imagine what you'll see, hear, and feel as you take that action, knowing that there'll be bumps along the way. There will be hurdles because life is made up of those ups and downs. But actually just notice this time that those bumps that come along, they don't stop you. You've learned how to go over them or around them or under them and continue to move forward to create your compelling, amazing future. How committed are you, Binu, to taking those actions out of 10?
I'm out of 10, it would be 9, definitely. A lot is to actually do with the kind of the work engagement that you have. So, and a lot of it is actually to do with personal development. So you need to actually find time between your work and your personal development, you know.
Do I have to, or do you?
I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds like you're very committed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And if those constraints weren't in the way that you just spoke of, how committed would you be to taking that action?
Very much, Jenny. I mean, you know, even if constraints are there, things need to happen. That's where you actually push yourself, you know, from your comfort zone.
Me or you?
Hello?
Yeah, me or you?
Me. I'm talking about me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Binu.
Thank you.
And just checking in, what's the emotion that you're experiencing right now, Binu?
A lot of energy inside, a lot of passion, a lot of positivity. There isn't any feeling of resentment, or there isn't any feeling of that it's not possible. There's nothing pulling me back.
Wonderful. And Binu, may I ask, if it's okay, where
Sure.
do you notice that? Where do you notice that emotion in your body? Those emotions that you just shared.
Heart.
Heart. Yeah.
That's exactly where it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And if your heart spoke to you right now, what would it say?
It's possible.
It is. It is. It's
Yes.
all within you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Binu. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
Appreciate your willingness to play.
Anytime.
So let's move forward. And so, as I mentioned, we would share the 5 ways that, look, I think my chat has shown up. Here it is. The 5 ways that coaching can change your life. It really can give you freedom and control of your life, because as I said, it's not about getting rid of those not so great experiences or emotions, but it's looking at how we can turn them around and make them powerful, and we can look for the wisdom that enables us to make really powerful choices. It supports us to build our resilience, and that's certainly been my own experience. As I mentioned today, I experienced some emotions as a consequence of reading an email, And but I was able to look at what's the wisdom of this for me? What do I need to learn? And what can I take forward? What can I do differently? Coaching provides, it really does provide endless opportunities to move forward positively in the good and both the good and the challenging times. It really expands your life. It really becomes a way of being and doing. And again, I have to say, since I've been on this coaching journey for myself, life has never been the same. It's been a beautiful journey, even through the most challenging of times. I can always coach myself through those challenging times, as well as get support from Marie and other coaches that I utilize. So I always continue to get coached myself. And I can also coach myself internally. So it just enables turning the most difficult situations into something really powerful and positive, just as COVID has done for Marie and I. It really threw a curveball, COVID, because we've both been out of Qatar and we've been able to create our business online, which has been amazing. It has been absolutely amazing. We didn't think that we'd be able to create something so powerful, but in some ways, I think the online experience can be, well, I was going to say equally as powerful as the face-to-face. They both have their benefits, but it's truly, truly amazing what can be achieved online. Coaching can provide stronger connected relationships with the people you love and who are really important to you. And again, I am so grateful for what I've experienced in how I can deepen the relationships with the people that are important to me. It provides the ability to manage your mindset and emotions very powerfully and positive, as I've already shared, and also make decisions easily and effortlessly. Again, something that I've shared, you know, when you really get to know who you are, which is what coaching does, it supports you and the people that you work with to know who you really are. What's your purpose? What are your values? And values are the things that are most important to us. So things like wisdom, love, connection, growth, making a difference, whatever it is for you. I'm probably sharing the values that are important to me. And each and every person will have their own unique set of values that are important to them. And it provides so much more. Oh, just going on to the next slide. So is it okay to share with you more about our program, the Empower World program? Yeah, would that be useful? Thank you. So in our program, what we'll be doing is we'll be teaching you effective communication techniques. So how to build trust and rapport, how to ask powerful, skillful questions, how to listen deeply. We've got active listening here on the slide, but it's actually listening very deeply to what is not being said, intuition, listening to our intuition, listening to body language, what the body language is saying. As I said, as we say on the slide here, understanding body language and delivering empowering feedback. So feedback that supports us and others. You'll learn specific coaching models. So, and you've learnt a very easy coaching model today, and as it's based on what's called the GROW model. And so I will share more about that model with you in a handout. And you'll learn so many more specific coaching models that will take you through powerful processes that will support you to take your clients through powerful processes and be able to work with emotions. So the emotions that show up for our clients, work with the limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs as well, support with conflict, support with the opportunities, because it's not always about the challenging and difficult things that come up for us and our clients. It's also about the wonderful opportunities that also arise. And we do say at Empower World that challenges are also opportunities. We always see challenges as a wonderful opportunity to experience and reframe and grow and expand. You'll also learn the attributes of a successful coach and coaching conversations. You'll also understand how human behavior and the mind works and the impact of communication and behavior. And again, how to make decisions easily and effortlessly. And all of these things are part of becoming and being a leader or enhancing leadership skills. These are all the skills of influence, and that is what leadership is. It's being able to influence. And as leaders, we're all leaders, and I imagine that you're all here because you want to be powerful and positive leaders in your life that will support you to then be able to lead others, whether it's in the professional context of your world or whether it's as a mother or a father or a brother or a sister or a wife, husband, whatever it may be, a friend. So these are all the things that you'll learn, and again, so much more. And what you'll take away specifically is coaching process scripts. So you'll take away scripts. So there'll be various scripts that you'll learn. The awareness of how to coach at a masterful level. So both Marie and I are master certified coaches. So with the International Coach Federation, who we are credentialed with, there are 3 levels: Associate Certified Coach, Professional Certified Coach, and then there's Master Certified Coach. A Master Certified Coach has over 2,500 of coaching hours behind them. And they've also gone through the rigorous process of being evaluated as to whether they are coaching at mastery level. So both of us have gone through that rigorous process of being evaluated, mentored to support us to be master certified coaches. So you will be getting that master certified coach approach. So we'll be teaching you what we know makes masterful coaches. So and that's the feedback that we get from the participants that go through our training. When they go out and work with others, when they work with other coaches, they always hear this feedback that they are a step ahead or leaps ahead in terms of how they coach. So we know that what we do works really well. You'll also be connected to like-minded, committed, resourceful, and a supportive community. So we have a very active community online. It's set up on Facebook at the moment, but it's incredibly supportive. And Marie and I are always there supporting with questions that come up. There'll be the opportunity to support and empower others, so with your fellow participants, and of course, the people that you will practice your coaching skills with. And when you set up your coaching practice, which will, you'll be able to do after halfway through the program, you'll have the foundational skills of coaching to start building your practice. An understanding of what you want and the ability to make decisions easily, improved leadership skill set, and employability. So what I'm noticing now in these days, for example, in the HR profession, there's a lot of people that are building and creating and adding to their skill set of leadership through coaching skills. A lot of marketers seem to take on these skills as well, because they recognize it is about the art of being able to communicate effectively, build trust and rapport, tap into the emotions. You'll also take away the freedom to live your life on your terms, because you'll understand much more about who you are. You'll also experience a life-changing personal development program, which will elevate your life. So we have people that do this program that don't become professional coaches. They come on the program because they want to experience a personal development program, and that is what they get out of it. So if you decide you want to become a coach, a professional coach, you'll also go on this amazing personal development program. So, this is exactly what I experienced through my own coach training program. When I decided to become a coach, I still had doubts. I still wondered whether, is this what I'm meant to be doing? Because I was going outside of my comfort zone. And when we go out of our comfort zone, the amygdala, the fight or flight response, is going to say, don't go out of your comfort zone. Don't go there. It's change. We mustn't experience change. But it was, again, the most powerful, life-changing decision that I made for myself. I so wish I had have discovered this earlier, coaching. I wish I'd discovered it many decades ago, because I think it would have saved a lot of procrastination, money, time wasting, etc., etc. However, I believe that I was meant to join when I joined, and I was ready to hear the lessons that I was ready to take on board when I joined. And so, I mean, Marie and I are so passionate about this, and we know that all of our participants experience this amazing program. So we do offer a money back guarantee if you're not satisfied, but we've never had to pay that out. So, but that's how confident we are about the program. So,
Jeanine, I have some questions, if that's okay, or maybe we leave the questions till the end. What do you prefer?
What I can do is go through these slides, and so
all the time.
And then because I do want to come to questions.
Yeah, I'll leave my questions to the end. It's just 2 questions.
It's just yes. So come to the end.
Yes, sure.
Fantastic. You're welcome. We're nearly there. So on this slide, we're just showing the dates that we're running the program, the next upcoming program. So what we're doing is we're actually shortening the hours. So what we have been doing in the past is a full day. And what we're doing is shortening the hours. So instead of 8.5 hours, it's going to be 6 hours. I think it's 8.5 hours. And so we're pulling out pieces in the program that you can now watch on video, and you can do that in your own time, as long as you do that before a certain date. But at least it gives you the leisure to be able to do it in your own time, so that when we're face to face, we're actually really going into the practice of coaching and to answer your questions that come up. So you'll also, at the end of the 8-day program, we will also be supporting you with your practice of coaching. So what we provide is supervision, coaching supervision, which is a really beautiful way to enhance what you're learning, what you're practicing. So there'll be follow-up after the coach training. The requirements for certification are, under the ICF, the International Coach Federation, who we are with, is completion of a minimum of 60 hours of coach training. But in our program, you'll experience 94 hours altogether. So that includes the home play that you do in between sessions, the practice that you do in between sessions. So it's not 94 hours altogether online. It also includes what you do personally. It also requires completion of 100 hours of coaching. So a minimum of those hours have to be paid 75 hours. And the way you can be paid for coaching could be through a cup of coffee. It could be through paying for lunch. It could be through exchange of money, or it could be through exchanging services. So you might agree to coach somebody and then they coach you. So that's considered a payment. You'll also be required a minimum 10 hours of working with a mentor coach. So what we do is we offer coach training, but we also offer a mentoring program as well. So I'll say more about that shortly. So when you complete all of those things, then the ICF, you need to send in a recording of a session to the ICF, who will evaluate that for you to make sure you're meeting the core competencies of coaching. And then there's a multiple choice exam, which you are set up for success. The multiple choice is an open book exam, so you really are set up for success. And that completes your credentialing. So, and on the final slide, I think, not quite final, oh, actually there's a few others. Here's a testimonial, a couple of testimonials, but hopefully you will have seen some testimonials on the landing page. If you've been on the landing page, you would have seen perhaps some videos and some testimonials there. And the second last slide. So here's some information about the investment. So we've got our normal rates here above. And if you join us by the 15th of December, the joining fee that we've outlined here is waived. So there's no joining fee. And the discounted rate is to those levels, I don't know if you can see my cursor, to 14,000 for the coach training. And as I mentioned, we also provide a coach mentoring program. So we discount that to 8,000 for the coach mentoring program. But if you decide to do both the coach training and the mentoring, so the mentoring is what the ICF also requires you to achieve or to complete those 10 hours. If you decide to do the both, that should be 20,000 versus 20 Qatari riyals. If you decide to do the both, it's 20,000. So you don't need to sign up for the mentoring program. You can do that elsewhere. You can do it with us. You can decide to do that with us down the track if you want to become a credentialed coach. We've split these two out, the coach training and the mentoring, because some people just want to do the coach training and aren't looking to become credentialed. But if you do want to become credentialed, then you do require coach mentoring. So that's why we've split out the two programs. And we want to offer people who want to consider both an even deeper discount. Now, if you do sign up to the program by the 15th of December, and because you're on this webinar, we're not sharing this to the whole world, you will also get access to our business mentoring program. So the business mentoring program is 8 hours in total. So it's part of a group mentoring program, but it'll be a small group. So in that mentoring program, it's supporting you to set up your practice, supporting you to set up a successful practice. So how, what to be aware of, what are the steps to create a successful business. And we'll be sharing with you the things that we've learned to set up our successful practice. And also we'll be sharing the wisdom of people that we've followed to create our success. You'll also get a bonus number 2, which is how to win clients. You will have free access to the how to win clients module, which is part of our diamond training. Our diamond training is our advanced coach training program. So this is another coach training program we offer for those that have done a certain level of coach training already. And so that will also be available to you. So how to specifically have those coaching conversations to win clients. And bonus number 3, which we value at 20,000, is the complimentary access to retake the coach training. So you can do it again. Because again, and we highly encourage it because you just get another perspective. Potentially what you'll find is the first time you do the coach training, you'll really experience it. And there is so much that you're learning that there'll be things that will potentially be missed. So you get the opportunity to retake it. So we've come to the end. So thank you so much for staying here to the end. And so I'd love to open it up for questions here. And of course, if you're really wanting to take this up, please do email us, support@empower-world, empower-world.com. And of course, if any questions come up between now and the next time, so, well, after this is finished, please do feel free to email Arslan, who's on support. Arslan is our wonderful business manager. And if you'd like to set up a call with myself or with Marie, again, please do email Arslan on this email and he'll be able to set that up. And we're very happy and willing to have a further conversation for anything that you need to find out more. So, and if you'd like to join up right now, please do email Arslan and say, to get these bonuses, I'm in. And again, can't emphasize enough that it's a powerful journey that will change your life. I know it will, because I've experienced it. Marie's experienced it. We've also brought our wisdom together. So Marie and I were both trained by different schools. So we've brought our wisdom together and we constantly invest in ourselves. So we're very generous with what we share in that we want people to live their best life. So it's up to you. Of course, it's up to yourselves. The journey could be slow or it could be much faster. And I certainly recognize that this is an investment, and it's just recognizing, am I willing to continue to pay the costs, the price of procrastinating, or am I willing to step into my best life as soon as possible? And I always realized that actually when I made these investments, it would come back to me. I would definitely be able to repay that investment to myself very quickly by going on this journey. So I'd love to open up for questions. And again, thank you for being here till the end. Although we're not quite finished, because I know that there's some questions coming up.
So Jeanine, so once let's say we complete the training program that Empire Words provides, and we complete the questionnaires with ICF, sorry, we will be automatically ICF certified.
Yeah, so once you complete the online test.
Yeah.
So once you've submitted your recording, your 100, you've done the 100 hours, you've done the mentoring program, and the ICF has evaluated your recording, you get the link to the test. And once you complete that, you automatically get acknowledgement. So of whether you're certified or not.
Yeah.
And as I say, you really are set up for success. We've had 100% pass rate, apart from one. And so we had an Arabic speaker whose Arabic actually was very limited, and so he definitely got what he needed from the coach training. And I think with the questions that were on because it was in English, because you can choose an Arabic, I believe you can ask the questions to be in your own language, and I think he chose English. And
yeah.
So yeah, but he's now certified. So.
And the 100 hours that you're talking about, how they are identified? Like, for example, if I come to you and I say, oh, I did a coaching session with a friend of mine on a cup of coffee. Like, how do you trust? Or for example, how I will be evaluated with this session? Maybe I'm doing the thing wrongly. You know what I mean? Like how it is really like evaluated or identified this session?
No, great question. So what you will do is, as part of the certificate of completion with Empower World, you'll record a coaching session and you'll send that in to one of our mentors, and they'll provide you with feedback. So that will support you to let you know whether you're on track or off track.
Yeah,
with the
this
coaching
is my
competency.
question. Yeah. Okay.
And then I mentioned there were the 10 hours that follow up after the program, the coaching supervision. And so there again, we'll be supporting you to work out whether you're on track or off track with your coaching.
Okay.
So yeah.
And I'm sorry, interrupting you. Continue.
I was going to say also with the mentoring program,
Yes.
again, you'll be as part of our coach mentoring program, you'll be working with a small group and you'll be able to coach and be coached. So you'll hear feedback throughout the program, and then we'll be mentored by Marie and I individually. So we will both listen to 2 different calls that you send to us to listen to. And again, we're there to support you to work out, how are you going with the competencies. So you'll be supported the whole 100 hours throughout the 100 hours.
So during COVID, I mean, during this time, it will be the course, it will be provided, the program through Zoom, or will be like Zoom? Huh?
On Zoom, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So and again, it works beautifully. One of the things that was shared with me or shared with us was actually the cohort that was being trained just as COVID was starting to hit the world was initially started face-to-face. So there were the first weekend was done face-to-face. And then the second weekend that we provided, it was done online.
Yeah.
And participants said to us, actually, we really, really enjoyed the face-to-face. And what is great about the online is that actually now we can see everybody. And I'm getting to know my colleagues better because I can see them. Whereas when we're in the room, we were just focused on you at the front of the room. And I wasn't really paying attention so much to my participants, except when they were doing activities which would put them together, because that's what we do as part of our training, is to make it very interactive, support. So each thing that you learn, you then go and practice it, and you practice it with one another, and so again you'll get feedback throughout the program as well, so about how your skills are going. So it's a really powerful way to learn each step and then practice it, because without that practice it's not being embodied. So we really want you to embody.
And let's say, I mean, sorry, my last question for today. let's say because actually I'm interested in this program. I'm on I'm shifting, so I left my work, and I'm like you. Okay, I was on a roller coaster, and now I am on a break. I'm on a break. I'm taking a break just to know where to go next in my career. Okay, this is my main focus. I'm interested in this program, and I'm in coaching as well because I like to support people. I'm a good listener, etc. But I know there's lots of skills I can take with this program. So once, let's say, I am ICF certified, okay, for me, in order to get into this industry, like I'm sure I will be mentored, as you said, right? The thing is it difficult? I mean, to go and to coach people, I mean, to open up your business, and during COVID especially, I mean, how difficult it will be maybe to create your new clients and all of this, and
Yeah. No, it's a great question to ask. And actually what we say, what we believe is that there is such a huge opportunity for coaches right now
Yeah.
because of COVID. Because of COVID, there's so much concern, worry, stress. How do I reinvent myself? You know, there's so many people that have lost their jobs, that don't know what they want to do or where to go or how to be, or again, how to reinvent themselves. So there's so much anxiety, there's so much frustration.
Yeah.
There's so much mental pressure on the world right now. And this is what coaches do. They support people to overcome those challenges of anxiety, stress, loss, don't know where I'm going, don't know what I want to do, I've got an idea, but I don't know how to act upon it. There's an opportunity out there, but I just don't know where to start. These are all the sorts of reasons that people need coaching right now. So as I mentioned earlier, through your question, I think it was, Rain, about, the profession of coaching is still in its early infancy. And I'm hearing a lot of people feeling under stress and duress. And this is, I personally am noticing so many opportunities for coaching, but I can't take them up. I can't do it all.
I mean, for example, you just knock on the door of the one a company and say, "Oh, hey, I'm in a coach, and I can coach your HR resources," or this is it. This is how you do it, or is it? I mean, we can grow online. You can,
Yeah, there's so many
different ways. I mean, during maybe the mentorship program that you mentioned as well, that maybe they will lead us and show us the way, right?
Yeah, the business mentoring program is about that, just really supporting you to identify ways to build your coaching practice.
Yeah.
So there are many ways that you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And just checking in, Binu and Fatima, if there's any questions that are coming up for you.
Nothing from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Binu. Thank you so much for participating and supporting everyone to experience a little bit more about what coaching is. And just checking in with you, Fatima. And you can just do a thumbs up if that helps. Thank you, Fatima. So it would be great to hear what's one thing that you're taking away from today for yourself. And again, you can put that in the chat box because I can see the chat box now.
Yeah, well, for me, your first introduction about what is coaching, I really like it, because for me it was just, oh, you give advice for other people, but because I had this question back in my mind, like, what is the difference then between a coach and maybe a psychiater, like like what's the difference between those two people, psychologist, or then there's a huge difference, there's a big gap. So for me now it's more a bit clearer, what is coaching is.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. And I see Binu says it's the process that you showed. Thank you. And Nariman had to leave. She said, thank you for your time. And Fatima, maybe in the chat box, what's one thing that you take away? And I'll just give a moment for Fatima to perhaps type anything if she wants to. And again, as I mentioned to you all, feel free to reach out if there is any further clarity that you need. Let us know. We do also offer a payment plan as well, and as we mentioned, the bonuses are available for people that sign up and pay by the 15th of December. If that's not possible, and perhaps you'd like to go on a payment plan, then again, please do send us an email at support. So it potentially will mean that the bonuses are forfeited, maybe not, just depending on where you're at, but we'll be as flexible as we can. So, and Fatima writes, coaching has a good scope. So thank you all. Very insightful session. Yeah, thank you so much, Fatima. Really thank you all for being here. Have an amazing rest of day, and hopefully we will see you very soon, hopefully in a coach training room or something else soon. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeanine.
You're very welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.